Hi, and welcome to the Medium Yield Medical Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Leonard. A quick intro for the first episode. This is a podcast about fun facts in the history of medicine in an Australian context. Firstly, the name. Time-pressed medical students love to talk about yield as a way of prioritising what to study, where a high-yield topic is something that's likely to show up in real life or on an exam. Most of the time, this podcast will be low-yield, stories that are interesting or niche but not particularly relevant. I hope to occasionally, though, cover some high-yield topics as well. On average, then, I think this is probably going to land somewhere in the middle, in the area of medium yield. This podcast is targeted at students and practitioners of medicine and anyone else with an interest. So, let's get into the first episode. What are the causes of pancreatitis? It's a common question for medical students on the ward, and there's a well-known mnemonic for remembering them: I get smashed. Most people remember the first few items on the list. There's idiopathic, gallstones, ethanol. People's memory starts to trail off after this, but then lurking near the bottom of the list, that final S, is a cause that is seductive in its memorable appeal. Scorpion stings. But are scorpion stings an actual cause of pancreatitis? Well, globally there are about 1,500 species of scorpions, but only a handful of those are dangerous to humans. There are two genera of scorpions whose stings cause pancreatitis. The first and most frequent offender is the Titius genus, which is found in Central and South America. Titius cerulatus, commonly known as the Brazilian yellow scorpion, is the most toxic species, and as the name suggests, is found in Brazil. Other species, like Titius stigmurus, present more of a health hazard due to being more common. The second offender is the Liurus genus. The death stalker, or Liurus quinquestrius, belongs to this genus. In one study, 13 of 14 children stung by the death stalker went on to develop pancreatitis, and this genus of scorpion is distributed across North Africa and the Middle East. Case reports of scorpion envenomation report a syndrome of hypersalivation, reduced consciousness, sweating, vomiting, epigastric pain, and pain at the site of envenomation. In terms of pancreatitis, it has been shown that enzymes in Titius cerulatus venom removes a peptide in vesicle-associated membrane proteins, which prevents the transport of pancreatic enzymes out of cells, resulting in autodigestion of the cells and pancreatitis. As I said, Titius and Liurus are found in Central and South America and North Africa and the Middle East. So what about Australia? Well, scorpions are actually widely distributed across Australia. They range from a relatively inconspicuous 2-centimetre scorpion, like the spider-hunting scorpion found in arid inland areas, to the more frightening and aggressive desert scorpion at a nightmare-inducing 11 centimetres. Scorpion stings aren't particularly common in Australia, despite how widely distributed scorpions are. The most likely scorpion to be stung by is the marble scorpion, or Lycus marmorius, due simply to the fact that it lives in the populated southeast of the country and doesn't mind living in urban areas. Fortunately, stings from Australian scorpions rarely require medical attention. The most commonly reported symptom is local pain and redness, and less commonly, numbness and paresthesias. First aid is an ice pack, and medical treatment, if required, is normally just analgesia. So then, how to correctly answer this classic ward-round question on the causes of pancreatitis in a way that is correct for Australia? Well, estimates of the etiology of pancreatitis in Australia vary. Gallstones are commonly reported as the leading cause, and then alcohol. These two causes account for somewhere around 60 and 80% of cases. Idiopathic pancreatitis accounted for up to 25% of cases in at least one study in Western Sydney. Scorpion envenomation appears to account for approximately 0 cases. Thank you very much for listening to this first episode of the Medium Yield Medical Podcast. This episode has been recorded on Ewan and Geringer land. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not include any medical advice. If you have a medical concern, seek medical attention. See ya!